36.
Cool, thank you. It hits the fan, right?
Say what?
This is where it hits the fan.
Hopefully not. Hopefully you're just going to do it better than you did last time.
Oh, I hope so. That would be dope.
Every lap will just get a little bit better. We'll start with being real precise with our line, kind of like our first lap out, you know. Get comfortable with the car. Make sure that we're on the proper racing line, and then we'll build the speed up from there.
Okay.
The straighter your hands are, the harder you can press the gas pedal or the brake pedal.
Okay.
So anytime you have a straight line brake zone, good hard brake right at the beginning, and then trailing off as you're bending into the corner.
Okay.
And then as you're unwinding the wheel onto a straightaway, squeezing more and more power onto the straightaway.
All right.
If you get up enough speed, then at start-finish, we'll just trail off the throttle, bend in and coast past the first apex until we're going up the hill. Might need just a little touch of throttle and then a brake towards the turning cone for turn 2. Drop it into gear. He was talking to us, and we'll just cruise slowly following that car past the trailer. Start building some speed onto the racetrack. Front straightaway's clear, nobody coming. If you're pointed at one gate, start looking for your next gate. Smoothly bending over to the left side of the road. Lift off the throttle, bend it in, and down back to power, and squeezing it on, unwinding just a little bit right at the apex to let the car track out, and then back to the right side. A long brake right here, all the way down to the bottom of the hill. Turn real tight to the left, and then right here, then turn back to the right. Up over the hill, squeezing on a little bit of power, down the hill, and braking a straight line, looking at the apex, bend it in, trailing off, back to power, squeezing on a little bit of throttle, bend it in, you drive looking for your next reference cones, squeezing on the power, 3 gates in a straight line, 1, 2, brake in a straight line, and 3. Bend in, looking down the hill, maintenance throttle, look for the apex, turn it in nice and tight, back to power, squeeze it on the exit. And full throttle down the left side of the road. And brake. Look into the corner, bend it in, trailing off the brakes, very slowly to power, and now squeezing on the power, letting the car track out to that cone. Cone to the gate, turning left off the brake, back to power, squeezing on the throttle through the corners. There you go, onto the straightaway. And a hard brake at the 3 cones. Probably the 3.5. Bending in, still with some brake on, carrying a little bit of speed into the thing. Back to power, squeezing on the throttle. StabiliTrak handling that nicely. Let the car track out to the left side, nice smooth arc through the corner. And then a hard brake. Want to start with a good initial onto the brake pedal. And then squeezing on the power on the exit, up the right side. And then we'll just lift, bend it in, and coast. Let it coast out here. And then bending in again. And then a little bit of brake coming uphill right here. Bending into the right, off the brake, back to a little power. At the apex, you start letting it track out just to get to there, and then hold that steering angle back to the right side. And brake down the hill, braking, bending hard to the left, back to power, squeezing on the throttle over the hill. And brake. Bending in, trailing off, back to power, squeezing on the throttle down the hill. and tight to get to the apex. Immediately at the apex, start letting the car fade to the right, squeezing on the power. Down the left side of the road. And brake. Hard. Harder. Harder. Now you got to about an 8 pedal, but you started at a 4 pedal. Squeezing on the power gently. Bending in. At the second apex, doing a light brake, about a 4 pedal. And then trailing off, bending to the left, back to power. Squeezing on the throttle on the exit. Through the next corner on the power. At the 4 marker. And brake. Harder. Still going to carry a little too much speed down to this first apex. So the initial touch of the brake pedal has to be the highest. And brake. And again, trailing off. And then squeezing on the power on the exit. Trailing off right here, bending in, hold that steering angle, let it fade out here to the right, and then turning in tighter. As we go up the hill, going to the brake pedal, bending to the right, back to a little power. There we go. And light long straight down to the bottom of the hill, trailing off the brakes, back to power, squeezing on the throttle up and over the hill, hard brake, bending it in, trailing off, back to power, squeezing on the throttle on the exit. This time we'll do just a little lift right here, get it to the apex, back to power, and now accelerate up and down. And lift, and brake straight, looking into the corners, bending in, look for the apex, get the car to the apex, and then squeezing on the power down the hill. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And hard. There you go. That's what we're looking for. And then we can trail just a little bit back to get to the corner at the right speed. Off the brakes, back to power, squeezing on the throttle. We'll start our brake cool down. It's only about 55 miles an hour, and that way we don't have to touch the brakes all the way into pit lane, hopefully. So you'll just lift early, look for your apex, just turn it in. And as long as you're off power as you turn in, it'll scrub a little bit of speed off down to the apex, and that'll slow us down from the corners. And then lift early, let the engine and transmission drag us down to speed. And then just look into the chicane and bend it in. And up to about 45 or 50 miles an hour before we get to the apex. Hold that speed for just a moment, and then we'll lift and coast into pit lane just like the car ahead of us. So off the power, let it coast down to about 30 miles an hour, and then you can hold 30 miles an hour into pit lane, right about there. That was sweet.
That was way sweet.
The last lap, you were really getting a good groove, getting on that racing line, and it was nice and smooth.
Nice.
And just like that car through the gate of tall yellow cones.
Is it running or?
Yep. We'll pull up nice and tight behind them, and just like before, we'll pop it into park. And then off the brake pedal, and leave it running. We'll hop on out. Don't forget your hat.